But I would love to call back in a different time and get a little bit more deeper. Today, the only way you can really survive in any industry is by being healthy. You know what I mean? So I put together this Health is Wealth online virtual platform and put together our latest, project. We're still inventing. I invented the Work It set for his and her, the limited edition. And I put that together, just to kind of, get those who want to catch up to me and my history, acclimated to being able to know how to have staying power. And that's a part of it. So as I'm waiting to release the full presentation of the Rapademic truth, there's some goodies in between to keep people healthy and safe and inspired so they can actually, get motivated to have the longevity necessary to do this movement. You feel me?
Yeah, what you said, Sugar, is so of the utmost imperative in terms of mental health and just being able to be, mentally and physically well in this business, because it is a grind in terms of, just starting it is one thing. Having a run like you all have had and are still having, and you especially, with your solo projects, is just outright, is just, commendable. It's past commendable. What have you found in terms of your experience, your sojourns in the business of how to really maintain, yourself in terms of, just keeping yourself together? Because we've seen so many people that spotlight of fame becomes, so hot that they end up, burning from it. The attention can be suffocating. The pressures can just be unbearable at times. How have you managed to just, especially from going from, artist to author to motivational speaker, just so many different avenues. How have you, what did you find across your journey?
Well, what it boils down to it, I'm a mother, a grandmother of 6. I have a variety of layers to me that I do besides just music, you know what I mean? And that's what keeps me going and keeps me in a place where I can stay balanced and relevant. I don't move by the industry relevance. So, I move by the reality relevance. You know what I'm saying? So, entertainment is entertainment. That's for fun and games for people to play and have fun. A lot of people take it like it's real, unfortunately, and they try to live that, and that's when they lose reality, and that's when the challenges come. But when you can keep it 100 and build around what makes sense and not be controlled by that, that's when you can actually last. So that's why I put together the Health is Wealth Cafe program, where you guys, people can buy. You got to work with what you got till you get to what you're trying to get to. So the His and Her limited edition through my fragrance line is called Work. You know what I mean? It's about working. You got to work. You got to work it. And sometimes, you got to work with what you got till you get to what you're trying to get to. And when you get to it, whatever it is, just work it. So pretty much, being healthy and keeping on top of your business and growing and not being stuck in one box, and actually being able to deliver, based on what's real, is the correct avenue. So being a teacher, a mentor, a veteran, a hip-hop matriarch, that's my goal, is to continue to lead people with information that makes sense versus not. And those who want reality and want to make sense, they are, the target population. Those who just want to play games and follow the stuff that, take you in other directions, then they may not be the ones that would enjoy working it. So people can find it, the Health is Wealth Cafe in the sprinkle.me.biz. It's a free coupon. So it's a cafe that got information, it got music, it's got exclusive music for working out, staying in the house, staying safe. It's a Work It Dance Out, and they get when they buy the Work It fragrance, it's a His and Her, one for men, one for men, and one for women. The coupon is there for them to download. And when they download it, you know what I'm saying, they can go right to the location where they can get on to the platform so that they can work out and be healthy and learn a little bit more tools about that. And then, of course, inside the school itself are courses that can get people, caught up to speed, quick crash course of knowledge and wisdom and elements that, economically empower them and bring them to a truth.
Now, about the Rapademic album, now, do you have any videos in the work that we're going to be looking forward to in the coming weeks?
Yeah, when I come back, and you can, exclusively run through each song, and we can talk about it. I definitely will make sure that you get that. And digital release is coming out, but in between time, I got something to keep us busy. And again, they can go to the YouTube, SUGA T Official, and find different presentations of what it is. Can you get the camera ready? I'm actually in between a shoot, and I want to stop, but you got it where you can get my whole body too. And so right now, I'm in between shooting and making sure that everything is up to part. And, I just wanted to stop and make sure I showed you guys some love and gave out this great opportunity for the SprinkleMe.biz, where they can get the work set, a man and a woman, and they can get the download with a free 30-day registration to a workout platform to stay beautiful, and that's dedicated to the women and to the men, because I know men love their women to stay beautiful inside and out. So
yes, we do.
It can be an enjoyable moment for the man and woman. Mm-hmm. Can you stand that up? We can do this right.
Yes, indeed, health as well.
Yeah. It's not going to work standing up. Yes. Health as well. That's what the cafe is. So you go to SprinkleMe.biz, you get to work it. His and her pair got work, and a whole bunch of other goodies in the platform. It's a essential boutique that has beauty, fragrance, wellness products and services, as well as specialty products that you can get exclusively in the boutique. So this is a time that, we're giving, so we want to give, based on the platform, the Health is Wealth platform, to give people some motivation around this time of COVID and transition to stay beautiful, smell good, look good, and feel great.
And you know what? You're a prime example of you showing how there's a place for people that has their legacy in modern hip hop. Because we live in this stage where we live in separatism, like between ageism, classism, all that stuff, and you doing what you're doing is paving the way and showing that, look, there's no such thing as ageism in hip hop.
Yeah. That's kind of interesting because I think you're right. I'm a one of a kind. You know what I'm saying? And, it's interesting how today's where the hip-hop moves, where people ain't really interested in reality. They're more interested in hype. So, hype take you down and take you to a stagnant place. But when you're messing with the real, you're right. You can't be mocked,
Yeah, and I think that's one Tanae that has always been, just, essential in the business in terms of letting your talent speak for itself rather than having, ratchet theatrics, be your calling card. When we look back,
like that. I like how you labeled that. Thank you. That's exciting.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Yeah.
Create his own slang. That's why we call T-Max with the facts.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just, from where we all are, being, connoisseurs of the culture, you being an active participant and the legendary one of that, we just seen how it's changed so much over the years. Back in the day, our social media, our video outlets, of course, were Your Own TV Raps, Rap City, Video Music Box, and of course, promo videos that would get released in general. So that's where we really, really started to understand, that, really seeing the artist in terms of their element, But now, especially with social media like IG, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, which is not bad at all. It's been great in terms of, branching out. But like you said, it's also brought a lot of exaggeration, aggravation into it because we're seeing people, capping, but with no new era behind it. But it's all old hat in terms of what they're trying to put out there.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, it's all recycled game. And well, a lot of it I can't even give it credit of being game. It's actually old school, but it's called relevant, and it's real old.
Yeah, where do you think it started changing at in terms of where where the focus started being? Where do you think it really started to come at from where you saw it?
I'm not really sure, but I know we definitely, when we get back to the phone, because it's a long conversation, we should just really highlight that when we come back to it. I don't want to shortchange you or the audience.
But I don't know. We ready for that part too. We just want to give people the touch up because you just dropped a banging album, and I heard about 3 songs of it on the press release, and I'm like, yeah, this needs to be heard because you got to mix the food with the vegetables, the fruit with the vegetables.
Yeah.
And now we got to give them that dose of vegetables because they had too many goodies. Now we got to give them the stuff that's gonna make them live.
Yep, for sure. When I get back to you guys, when I'm into we want to make sure that we highlight the album first when it's released with you guys.
Definitely.
But sprinkling you guys with the giveaway of the Health is Wealth Cafe and the opportunity. That's the beginning of the game. You know what I mean? Sprinkle Me Biz. That's a part of the movement. So being able to, get people ready, to get into the element of what Rapademic is bringing in the actual official release is going to be hot. And they calling me, trying to get back into this shoot. I stopped to get a video shoot to kind of finish up this shoot. But I wanted to make sure I sprinkled y'all with the activity, and I really appreciate you guys, being able to look out and continue to spread the good news. So being able to stand up on this. So being able to get the element of getting it done where it makes sense. Let's talk about that stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, we're gonna definitely get into the part. So we want to get acquainted. We want to get acquainted. We just get to flow the energy and all that, and it's great to see artists still putting out consistent dope material with a sound message. So we know part 2, we're gonna hit them over the head.
Yeah.
For sure. For sure.
And most important, we wanted to give the bouquets to Bay Area legendary beauty such as itself and letting you know that we respect you, we love your contributions and we cherish your, presence in the culture. And, we always want to let our legends know how much we do appreciate them.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate all y'all support and just being around to be respectful to us who basically trailblazers that that's being mocked and not being accredited for. So I really appreciate that you guys are staying strong in the movement and educating people of where the root of this stuff is at because, if people just coming into the movement, 20 years ago, then they're thinking that the 20 years ago talent is the one that brought the innovation. If they came in 10 years ago, then they're thinking that. And sometimes when they get conscious, they learn eventually if they dig a little bit deeper into history, but a lot of people are not interested in digging a little deeper. They're pretty content with what they're being fed. So that could be sometimes one element that keeps people extremely ignorant.
Yeah, and one thing about it is that, and like you said, one thing about it is that for what y'all did in terms of, bringing y'all own distinct, we're just going to say it, hip-hop without Sick With It would be boring. It would be boring because y'all bought so much. I mean, especially, because you had already had a name, going, in the 90s, of course, really when, Sprinkle Me, that was really when everybody really got to know who you were, when you kicked your verse up there, we was like, okay. And that's when, that's really when, it really opened up the doors for all of y'all out there. And, it really, got people to know more about yourself, in terms of knowing they're like, hey, this shorty out here, she got some things to say.
Good. Put your producer hat on. Yeah, well, it's all good. We're making things happen and think people are on the move. And, again, here 30 years later, celebrating 30-year anniversary and definitely in celebration, giving away. Again, can go to the Sprinkle Me Biz and definitely was a circumstance that that allowed me to get people clear and excited about staying healthy, because health is wealth, and and that's a movement in itself. So thank you again.
Mass movement.
Yeah.
What was that?
We need to have the Bring Your Mass movement on too. We're gonna start that up because you inspired us. We got to. If you don't have your mask, we ain't gonna talk to you.
That's right. So that's
on.
the purpose of the Health is Wealth Cafe, is people can stay away from everybody, still work out, have fun, dance, get healthy, learn a few other health tips and tricks, you know what I'm saying, have fun away from everybody, and then also smell good in the midst of it, which is the work, His and Her fragrance from the Street Empowerment Fragrance Oil line, that is inspired by the hit song Sprinkle Me with me and my brother E40. So, again, sprinkleme.biz. And it can happen. Be in there.
Oh,
definitely. One
wish
thing.
you the best of luck. You go ahead and knock out that video. I'm gonna be following you. We're gonna be following your moves. We're gonna be putting people on to what you're promoting out there, because we had a state of emergency as a people, and we need all the information we can.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, knowledge is power. People need power, so knowledge is power. So that's what it is.
Definitely.
Most definitely.
Well, once again, you gotta get back.
No, I'm just trying. I gotta get back in the video shoot. They waiting for me, and I gotta do it because we're on a time frame here. But I definitely give a shout out to you guys and everybody that's on here listening. If y'all want to follow me and learn more about me, y'all can go to SUGA T. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Google me, and and get updated if you're late. Get updated because you might be 30 years late, so you can catch up by just logging on and hitting the history button, and also following me on my SUGA T official YouTube subscription. So and a shout out to all the ones that keep it 100. We in this.
Big shout out to Aries too for making this thing happen. You the bridge of this hip hop thing.
We in this. Shout out to my girl Aries. Yep, for sure.